So allow me to say this to you one more time. You're fired.
Oh, no! We suck again!
Hello, welcome back to my show. I'm Josh Liu, back to the Big Three and Beyond. We're going to do the Texans finale. Hopefully everybody had a happy new year. Hopefully you didn't get too big of a hangover. Hopefully everybody had a good time. Hopefully not too many of y'all had to end up behind bars, whatever, getting a drunk tank, nothing like that. Hopefully y'all had a good time, pop some fireworks, rung into 2014. I can't believe it's already 2014 already. That's crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk Texans. That's primarily what we're going to talk about, the finale, talk about everything. So, like most Texans fans, I bet most of y'all at the beginning of this season were like, thought, beginning of the season, we'd be playing either this wild card weekend, either playing at home, playing Cincinnati again or some other, so-so AFC team, or we'd have the first round bye. But we ended up losing 14 games in a row, and not only did we miss the playoffs, but we ended up being the worst team in the whole league. Not in the division. I'm talking Jaguars. Everybody thought they were the worst. No, not even the division. They actually beat us twice. And that's what ended up, I think, was the last thing that Bobby McNair saw that ended up costing him his job. But overall, it was the overall losing. I think putting Shot back in, numerous times, which, was, I don't know, he should never have done that. He was gone already. He was already done once. Kubiak should have put him on the bench like several games back. But anyway, so we ended up being the worst team in the league, losing 14 in a row, and getting the number one pick. We could have lost those first two games. We could have gone 0-16 like the Detroit Lions did several years back. So we got the number one pick, and Kubiak is gone. So, of course, there were going to be some changes. Even Bob McNair wasn't going to stand around with Kubiak. Go with that. He already been too nice of a guy sticking with Kubiak for this long. I thought he should have been fired after 2010 if you hadn't saw my other shows, right? So what went wrong? Kubiak and his system. Kubiak and his coaching staff. Was it Shaw? Was it the general manager, Rick Smith? Or was it the owner? I'm going to say all the above. Let's first start off with Kubiak. Kubiak's system with Shaw was very limited. I understand Schaub is not Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. He's not going to give him the whole freedom to, call his audibles and his hurry like Peyton Manning does at the line. You ever watch the Broncos play or when the coaches play? He's got total control pretty much. It'd be a great offensive coordinator with him at the quarterback. But basically, Kubiak only gave him a couple options. Whenever he actually did give him a chance to audible out, But as far as calling his own plays, Kubiak was in charge of that, and he was very limited in what he could do. So first of all, I think that was the first mistake, not giving Shaw more leeway with the plays, because he had scripted the first 15 plays for the first and the second half. He had them scripted, so he should have changed them up. You know what I'm saying? When I play Madden, I'm not going to stick with the same plays depending on how my opponent's playing me. I'm going to change it up a little bit. So that's the first thing. The predictability was atrocious. You cannot be predictable. You got to change it up. And everybody knew where we were going to go to. Nah, it didn't help that we lost Owen Daniels, which was Schaub's basically his big security blanket. You know, that's like Linus's blanket. Losing Owen Daniels was a huge loss. Yeah, you still had Andre Johnson. You still had, you know, DeAndre Hopkins. You know, you had a couple other receivers. And, of course, Arian Foster went down, too, so that also hurt us. But the main thing is his predictability with it and his play calling. And also not going for it at the times. He always played not to lose. He didn't play to win, he played not to lose. And I think that cost us even some games last year. I mean, over his career, when Kubiak was in charge, it was the coach. It cost us games not going for it. You know, going for a field goal, we're at 4th and 1, we're, you know, saying right at the goal line or, you know, on our side of the field. You know, I think that cost us. Schaub, of course, you can't put all the blame on Schaub. The defense wasn't that great. Yeah, we lost Cushing in the fourth. I think it was the 4th game of the year. So our defense did not play as good as we did like a couple years ago. Jonathan Joseph hasn't been the same from his injuries the last few years. You know, Cushing, we lost Cushing. Cushing, that's a big blow to our defense. So yes, our defense wasn't as good. The secondary was not good. So so one, you got to on defense. Special teams, you definitely got to blame special teams. Our return teams with, you know, blocking for Keyshawn Martin, and also just allowing big runs from the other teams. And you can't out Bullock, you know, even though he's A&M and like A&M, he definitely missed too many kicks, and I think they should have let him go. They should have cut him, or at least brought in some more competition. At the minimum, brought in some more competition. So yes, defense, special teams. But I am not going to count out blame for Schaub, because Schaub had his worst stretch ever, throwing those pick sixes every game. Every game he threw pick sixes. I think he had like 4 or 5 straight games of pick sixes. And the most pivotal, I think, play that changed the whole complexion of the season was the Seattle game. When we were up 20-3 and Seattle was coming back, and in that 4th quarter, when Schaub threw that stupid pass and then to Sherman, and Sherman, he read it the whole way. It was like Christmas already for them already. Boom, Sherman caught it, went all the way straight down. Boom, they're already in. They ended up winning the game. I think that one play changed the whole momentum of this freaking whole season. I hate to narrow it down to one play, but I think that's what changed it. So, anyways, you can't do that. The next thing is this: the general manager. The general manager is also to blame. Okay? This is also the next in the blame. He let go of Glover Quinn. Why did you let go of Glover Quinn? If you would have just paid a couple more $1 million, you would have had him. He was a good quality corner. He had the most tackles for the last 3 years for our team. That was not going to work. Why'd you get rid of him? And on top of that, he brought in Ed Reed. Ed Reed was done already. Even when he won with the Ravens last year, you could already see he wasn't the same player. He was a shell of his former self. But also going to put the blame partly that on the owner too. Because I remember when the owner was saying they need more of a change, more of a mental toughness. You know, so he thought bringing in Ed Reed for veteran leadership, he thought that would be it. He thought that would take us over the top. Well, that was the worst move of all. So you got to blame on Kubiak, you got to blame on Schaub, you got to blame on Ricksman, and you got to blame on our owner. On all of them. Besides all that, alright, Kubiak's gone. We went 2-14, the season's over. Now, as you know, we got a new head coach, Bill O'Brien out of Penn State. Now, I know some of y'all are talking about getting Bill Cowher, getting John Gruden. Come on. They haven't coached in over 5 years. That's not reality. I got tired of people on the radio, sports talk. Oh, we didn't get John Gruden. We didn't get Bill Cowher. Come on, y'all. That's not realistic. Come on. They haven't coached in that long. Do you think they're going to come back coaching? John Gruden loves being a commentator on football. with Tirico. And I don't think Tirico's that good, but John Gruden makes that happen. Bill Cowher's just chilling where that's like just he's chilling where he's at. It's like trying to get Jimmy Johnson back. Jimmy Johnson's chilling in Miami. He's got the boat. He's got this boat. He's chilling. He's got the life. There is no stress at all. But Bill O'Brien was a good hire. I did like David Shaw at Stanford, but we really have to bring in a bank for him because I think his family was really happy over there in Palo Alto. But Bill O'Brien's a good hire. One, he went into Penn State from the Sandusky scandal, all the restrictions and everything. I think he did a marvelous job. He did a damn good job. And also, he has experience from the Patriots, but from even before. He's had a lot of NFL experience. He was with the Patriots. He was the quarterback and offensive coordinator when he was with Brady, and he's had a little bit of success, unlike the other Patriots. The other subordinates like Josh Daniels and all them other ones. But I think this is going to be a good hire. And I think he's going to, if we bring in a quarterback out the draft, whatever, I think he will help mold him into a good quarterback, depending on what quarterback we're going to do. Now, we're going to get into that right now. Now, people in the draft, everybody's talking about drafting a quarterback, first pick, since we got the first pick. Everybody's talking about that, like getting Teddy Bridgewater at Louisville or Johnny Football. They're good players, they're good quarterbacks, but they're not Andrew Luck and they're not RG3. Both of them have some flaws. Teddy Bridgewater is one, I get tired of people saying he's a mobile quarterback. Just because he's black doesn't mean he's Michael Vick or Vince Young. You know what I mean? He's not a mobile quarterback. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's not a mobile quarterback. But I will tell you this. He does have good pocket presence. He does have a good passing. But I will say this. This is what he's work on. He needs to put some more weight on him. And about 35 yards or more, when he throws downfield, his accuracy is not as good. So he needs to work on his accuracy down the field. But the short passes and leadership and all that, he's got that. He's got the intangibles. I do like that. Johnny Football is straight up leadership. He's a straight winner. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be biased. I think he as A&M. I think he's a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's definitely developed his passing this year and everything down the field. And look what he did against Duke in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. He was on his team. He was on Mike Evans, his offensive. He helped bring that team back with his leadership, right? So, but I'm afraid he's going to try to run too much. He's going to get hurt. You can't run in the NFL. You cannot do this. It did not work for Tim Tebow. It's not working for RG3. If you're going to try to be in the NFL, you can't run. You got to pass. You got to have some good pocket presence. So that's one thing he's got to work on, is that. You can outrun in the NFL. You can't. So here's my suggestion. You got to trade down. I'm thinking with Cleveland. Cleveland's got 2 first-round picks.
I appreciate it. All right.
So trade down to get 2 first-round picks instead of wasting it on one quarterback. I think we got to get Jadeveon Clowney. Can you imagine him with Watt? Can you imagine him with Watt? Jadeveon Clowney on one side and Watt. If we go to a 4-3 defense, it'd be freaking spectacular. I mean, it'd be freaking awesome. You may not get a good pick if you draft Bridgewater or Johnny Football. I like them. They're good quarterbacks, but I don't know if they're worth the value. I'm going to tell you that right now. So I think we should trade down, get 2 first-round picks, get Jadeveon Clowney, and then maybe possibly get Jake Matthews out of A&M. He is the best offensive tackle, and I think he would help our right side because we need a lot of help on our right side line. Because what's the name? Newton is not going to cut it. He is the weak link on our offensive line. I know everything else we can kind of fix with them, play around with, but we got to get help on the offensive line. We also got to get help on Pass rusher on the defensive line, 'cause we're probably going to lose Antonio Smith. Probably not going to be able to pay him. And we also need secondary help. I mean, seriously, we need another safety, and we need some more corners. And, of course, we need another quarterback. We might be able to get, I think we should get a free agent veteran, and then maybe bring in A.J. McCarron if he's still available in the second round, maybe. Because I know some of y'all thinking, oh, he's just a game manager. I'm going to tell you right now, he's a winner. He's got 3 championships, 2 as a starter. He hasn't lost too many games. No, he's not Johnny Football and all that, but he knows how to play. He's got good leadership, and he's got good presence. And maybe in a couple of years, you know, with get everything else sold up with Bill O'Brien, we could be a contender again. It may not even take that long. But I will disagree with Bob McNair. He's saying we're just a few players away from being in that position again. No, we're more than a few players away. Like I said, we need quarterback, we need outside linebacker, we need help on the D-line, we need right side on the tackle, secondary help big time. So it's more than a few players. But we will see. We'll talk more in depth with the draft in May. Before that, we'll go into more see what more players are available, because we're still waiting on players and declaring for the draft. Like I said, I know Clowney said he's already declaring. Johnny Football hasn't yet, but we're pretty sure he's not going to come back to A&M. Bridgewater already declared he's going. So that's the fun part about having the #1 pick. We can try to speculate and figure out, get into Rick Smith's head and figure out what they're going to do with the pick. Like I said, my suggestion, we trade down, get 2 #1 picks. We're going to have the first pick at every other round after that, since we're the suckiest team this year. So, you know, I'm gonna say this: if hopefully Bill O'Brien's a good head coach, and we get a good quarterback, maybe A.J. McCarron, or maybe if Bridgewater is the deal, he puts on some weight and develops his passing down the field. That'd be a solid start for the Texans. Only time will tell. But I tell you what, there's only one place to go but up after 2-14, right? You know I'm right, Texans fans. We can't do another season like that. Like J.J. Watt said, Mega Watt said, I'm ready to go back in there right now, because this ain't gonna happen again, son. That's what Mega Watt said. But anyways, I'm Josh Lou, and I'm out.
Look, y'all pull up and I swing wide, like I can't drive. My bitch bad, your bitch mad, she ain't fly. Like Ebola on my fit, Medusa's all on my wrist. Better take 5 with them snake eyes, ma, they don't do it like this.